welcome to the 80sist, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally 80s song ever to blare from the muddy speakers of that Boardman, Ohio Pizza Hut jukebox. Well, in Cleveland, I'm Keith Marsteller, and joining me from Seattle, it's the creator of the 80sist, my life companion and my co-host. He's Joe Walk, everybody. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Keith. So listen, I have a movie idea to pitch you.
Okay, sure. Hit me.
Okay. All right. We open in South Carolina, and Justine Bateman is going on a road trip with her band, which features on drums Dustin Hoffman as a guy with autism.
Whoa.
He's a talented drummer. They drive to Florida.
Okay.
To audition at a club owned by Liam Neeson and Tom Cruise.
Wow. Okay.
They
Is Tom
have a
Cruise
successful
his
audition.
character from Cocktail in this scenario, or is he someone else?
No, he's Tom Cruise.
He's just Tom Cruise. All right.
He's literally Tom Cruise, right. So the audition goes really well. And Justine Bateman, who has been in a romantic relationship with Dustin Hoffman's character,
Whoa.
right?
Yeah.
Falls for both Tom Cruise and Liam Neeson and Lou Grant.
Lou Grant, like Ed Asner?
Ed Asner, yeah, but he's playing Lou Grant. And he just happens to be in Florida.
All right.
And she falls for all three of them.
And she dumps?
It's a love quadrangle.
Wow. Does she dump RainMan in this scenario?
No, she goes back to him in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does she at any point achieve satisfaction?
No. She can't get no.
Well, then I love the pitch then. Yes.
All right.
I absolutely love this pitch. Let's get funding together.
Sounds
They're
great.
all still alive, right? Yeah. No, they're not?
No.
Oh,
Ed
Asner.
Asner has passed away.
Yes, right. Well, I'll just do
Everyone else.
I'll just do my Ed Asner impersonation, and they won't notice the difference.
Let's hear it.
I'm not ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had one in the chamber.
Mary? No, I don't know.
That was great.
I don't know.
Wow.
Anyway, so welcome back to the 80sist, everybody.
Welcome back.
Glad to have you back here. And today, in the 6th show of Side B, we're gonna discuss our 4th matchups in the movie region, and it's gonna be number 4, "Send Me an Angel," against number 13, Iko Iko. And
Very natural competitors.
That's right. Let's get right to the tale of the tape. Fight!
2 songs enter, 1 song leaves.
It's the tale of the tape. He's out!
Keith, I'm going to ask you to explain the first movie, and I'll take the second.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Number 4 seed, "Send Me an Angel," is from the album Heartland by the band Real Life. And this song was released in 1983, 1986, 1987, and 1989. Its best effort of those 4 releases reached number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1989. And this song was on the soundtracks to Rad, which is what I'm nominating it in, Teen Wolf 2, and The Wizard. So it's on 3 80s movie soundtracks.
3 awesome 80s flicks.
So the first release was the album Heartland, and the next 3 releases were from various movie soundtracks it was on. So
it's had more releases than J-Lo's had husbands.
Oh!
Zing, J-Lo.
Anyway, so that's a long way to tell you the tale of Send Me an Angel's tape. And now in the other corner, what do we have?
Well, number 13, Iko Iko, is a cover song from the album The Bell Stars by the Bell Stars, which was released originally in 1982 and again in 1989.
Wow.
It did not chart in 82, but it reached number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100 in December of 1988 when it appeared on the RainMan soundtrack.
All right.
It did not appear on the soundtrack to Satisfaction.
It did not get any boost from that. And I typed on that. It was released again in 88. I had typed 89 by accident.
And I just read whatever's in front of me.
Well, that's right. But yeah, so it was released in 88. It was in Satisfaction in January of 88.
So,
yeah.
Well, but hold. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
It was the Bell Stars version was not in the movie Satisfaction. This is a classic Joe Boner. Sorry, did you actually literally do a spit take there?
Almost. I almost did.
Okay. No,
wait, hang on. Could you say classic Joe Boner one more time?
No, I'm done with that phrase.
Because I found that. I was ready.
So the deal is that I thought, and I knew that Justine Bateman's band performed the song in the movie, but I thought also it appeared in the soundtrack as the Bell Stars version. I was mistook.
That is hilarious because, it does appear in RainMan.
It does appear in RainMan, so it does belong in our 80s movies roundup, just not for the movie that I pitched it for.
Which is hilarious because your sister was like, hey, it's in RainMan. And I was like, yeah, but it's also in Satisfaction because, I believe in you. And then I searched for it and I found
Never
them.
Believe in me.
Then I later found them performing it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, so on the soundtrack, Iko Iko is credited to Justine Bateman and The Mystery.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
But so it is on the soundtrack, but it's the.
No, it is on the soundtrack,
but it's
just not by the Bell Stars.
It's the Justine Bateman version. Got it. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then, this is a public and formal apology to your sister Meg.
Yes.
For saying, it was in RainMan, which I did know, but I'm saying, but it was in Satisfaction first, which it was, but this Bell Stars version was not in it first.
Yeah.
So there you go. All that is a long way to say, classic Joe Boner. So there we go. All right, now let's, with all of that, this is such a weird matchup, dude, because these are two songs released in the early 80s and then re-released again later.
Yep.
And then, also in movies. But, Send Me an Angel had a full re-release in 1989, just called Send Me an Angel 89, which is what we're using for this show.
Right.
Because I didn't want to use the 83 version. Anyway, all that being said, let's listen to Send Me an Angel. And if you don't know this song, hold on to something.
It all comes back to you. Open fire on my burning heart. I've never been lucky in love. My defenses are
Wow. All right. Well, we'll talk about
Powerful stuff.
We'll talk about that one in a moment, but let's get it back to back with Iko Iko by the Bell Stars.
My grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. My grandma said to your grandma, I'm gonna set your flag on fire. Talking about henna, Iko Iko ane, chicken mofino anane, chicken mofino ane. Look at my king all dressed in red. Iko Iko ane, bet you $5 he'll kill you dead. Chicken mofino ane, talking about henna, Iko Iko ane, chicken mofino anane, chicken mofino ane.
All right. And then that's the next verse, and
They talk about the flag boy there.
that's true, they do.
Yeah.
All right. Those are the songs. They're back to back. And let's find out who is responsible for these songs. All right, Joe.
Okay, so number 4 is Semi an Angel. Came in with a total of 73 points.
For Keith, it was ranked number 8 in the entire bracket, and I did not rank it. So 8 plus 65 equals 73.
That's right.
Okay. And so this is entirely Keith.
Yeah.
This song is 100% Keith.
It not only is 100% nominated by me, as we'll discuss, it is me. All right. Number 13 seed, Iko Iko, comes into this tournament with
Barely.
126 total points.
Oof.
Joe ranked it 61st, and I ranked it not at all. So that's 65. Now, that adds up to 126, making this the highest total of any song that actually made the field. And that's because it didn't make the field. It failed to make the field. And then, Joe, do you want to try to explain what happened here?
I mean, yes, but maybe without giving away.
Oh, that's
exactly.
true. You could
So
you could
here's
just
the
say
deal,
a
is
song.
There is
instead
a
of-
song.
Yeah.
That was it. Just I mistakenly thought, or we both mistakenly thought.
I had it ranked, but I didn't rank things based on movies.
Okay.
So I had it ranked, but and
Right.
then you had it ranked and had it slotted
Because,
for
so
a
we
film.
both had it ranked.
Yeah.
I thought that it was in a movie, in a particular movie, and so.
And I mean, I
put it in
believe
the movie's
you.
bracket.
Yeah, I didn't.
Right.
I didn't say like, oh no, it's not in that movie. I went
Yeah,
along with it.
apparently I did this a lot.
Yeah.
I was drunk a lot this summer. What can I say? And so it turned out it wasn't in this movie, and so we had to pull it.
But it was
and
ranked
we
high
replaced
enough that it stayed in.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So we switched it to this song to a different bracket. And we pulled in Iko Iko, which was also not in the movie that I thought it was in.
Which
I think this particular spot in this region is cursed.
Yeah.
Is the deal? I think
I feel like it
it's-
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
an old burial ground that we built this region on.
So I don't want this to be lost in all of our storytelling. The Iko Iko being here is 1,000% Joe's responsibility.
Okay, I ranked it 61st, man. But I'll talk when we talk about Iko. I'll talk about why it's in here.
That's right. We'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about these songs. Joe, Send Me an Angel. Do you like it?
Do I like it? I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate its 80s-ness.
All right. Yeah.
But do I like it?
Do you like it? Not really.
Not really.
Would you skip it?
Probably not, because my wife likes this song.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. She's got great taste.
Okay.
I mean, she picked you.
Okay.
See?
So, sorry. How do you, do we have to ask you how you feel
I
about
don't
this
just
song?
love this song, Joe. It's a part of me. Since the first time I saw Rad as a young teenager there in 1986 and realized this Rad is one of the movies that got me into watching terrible movies on purpose. You know, like where you watch a movie because it's so bad it becomes good in a certain way. And this song and a scene that the song is featured in is a huge part of that. But we'll talk about it in a few minutes.
We'll talk about that, yeah.
Now,
How do you feel about Iko Iko?
Well, I don't hate it, I guess. I'm kind of more indifferent toward it. I've heard that song for a long time throughout my life in various shapes and releases of it. But I would probably skip it mostly. What about you?
I love this song, and I'll explain why later on.
Perfect.
But I love this song.
All right, so we are kind of almost on the opposite sides of this in terms of liking it. But
it's true.
It's going to come down to which one is the 80s song.
Okay.
And so let's start off with the current four-seeded favorite, Send Me an Angel. Now, Real Life allegedly had another hit song called Catch Me I'm Falling. Not to be confused with the Pretty Poison song of the same name.
Right.
And I'm going to jump ahead to what's some semblance of a chorus here at 120 something.
Come so real to me. Don't you? What a night is young. Catch me, I'm falling down again.
So this was a number 40 hit on the Hot 100, but I've never heard it.
No.
But I think it came out in 83 before I got my radio.
Okay, well there you go.
But I thought maybe you would have heard of it.
I do not know this song. I don't want to know this song. I want to hear less of it.
All right, and so it's gone. But it sounds pretty 80s sounding tune.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Does that song fit with your Send Me an Angel vibe?
No, it does not. Yeah, it
Okay.
feels a lot different. But
Yeah.
80s in a different way. It's certainly a lot. It seems like a lot less serious than Send Me an Angel. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would not go so far as to say that this is the sex dwarf
I know.
to Real Life.
No, but you weren't ready for you and I weren't ready for this
No.
this weird synth talking at the beginning, right?
No.
But anyway, that was happening in 1983, so cut him a break, I guess. But so this is from the movie Rad, which is
it certainly is.
a BMX biking movie. Everything is about BMX biking, and if this podcast survives long enough, I will be nominating Rad for the 80s-est movie when we do movie season, you know?
Will this be very possibly your number one ranked choice?
It'll be in my top 5.
Okay.
I can guarantee you that much.
Okay.
I would need more time to think about it because it's hard to say, like, Back to the Future would be below Rad, but...
I mean...
Although Back to the Future is well made, so I don't know. I might go with Rad.
I mean, Rad is kind of the crush on you of movies.
Yes. Now, what I would like to do, what I wish we could do, is go back in time, throw Iko Iko in the trash, and make this an all-Rad matchup featuring this song, Thunder in Your Heart by John Farnham, which is the montage song from Rad. Now, you've already heard enough, right? You've already heard enough to know that this is super 80s. But the guy comes out and says, like, if I said, like, write down a bunch of tropes for montage songs, he says them all right here, like...
Taking a chance, risking it all for the thrill of the moment. Taking a stand, you ain't gonna fall. You've always known it.
Anyway.
Did an AI write this?
It feels like it, right?
It does.
But yeah, there's thunder in your heart. Here it comes. Anyway,
if there is thunder in your heart, you are an AFib and you need to get medical help right away.
Anyway, I absolutely love Thunder in Your Heart as well, but it never made any charts. And
hang on.
Yeah.
Did you put it on your list?
Yeah, it was low. It never got called up on. Like by the time we filled in the bracket was filled in by the time we got that low on the list. So
fair enough. I mean, to be fair, Iko Iko was real low on my list. So
that's true. But it got in after the fact.
Right.
Anyway, so okay. Thunder in Your Heart. I just wanted to throw that out there. Now today I sent you a link, Joe, and you and your kids watched it. Could you describe what you saw? Because you've now seen it. You have the gift of having just seen it for the first time, and I've seen it 100+ times. Tell everybody what I sent you earlier today.
Okay, so it's a school dance, and as in all school dances, two people have bikes. And also, as in all school dances, everyone at the dance wants to see these people ride their bikes.
Yeah, they want to do
Meanwhile,
trick riding. Yeah,
Bart Connors,
Olympic gold medalist Bart Connors,
and his minions are off to the side, including two twins wearing Star Trek outfits. They're standing off to the side, having just done something of their own to show off. I have no context for them. And they're resentful of these BMX bikers that everyone, I can't emphasize this enough, everyone at the dance is dying to see. So, at the request of everyone, the bikers in spotlights take to their bikes and ride, do tricks, not just in slow motion, but in motion so slow it renders these tricks incredibly boring. Because they're just kind of standing on a tipped-up bike. And then meanwhile, there's a bad guy in the corner with his henchman, an older gentleman, who is just the most unconvincing drunk you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like this. I gotta get these guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
Only someone who has never been drunk could perform it that badly.
Which is like me.
That's like you.
Yeah.
So that's why you relate to that. But he yells at his henchman, "Find out the information." and the henchman then pours him more drink. Meanwhile, back to the bikes. They're still slow motioning around the gymnasium.
And while this is happening, I just want to point out, Send Me an Angel is playing.
Send Me an Angel is playing under all of this.
The whole time,
Lori Loughlin of
Full House fame, eventually,
is in some of the slow motion shots. Because it was clearly she was on a dolly of some kind as part of the bike.
They would zoom in on her and not show the fixed part of the bike. Yeah.
Then someone who is nominally Lori Loughlin does a trick of some kind, but you can see that it's clearly a dude in a wig.
A dude in a wig wearing her white pants and high heels.
Nothing remotely. And again, there's all types of women out there. But this person is very clearly a dude.
Very clearly nothing like the pencil-thin Lori Loughlin.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just
it's
built.
Yeah, you got like a 5'3", 100-pound Lori Loughlin, and then you've got a stunt guy who's like 5'8", 170 pounds, wearing a wig and her clothing. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so then they ride around for a while, and I mean I don't know that I remember the end of the clip. It just seemed kind of like it just ended. At one point, Bart Connors and his Star Trek wearing henchman, who by the way, the Star Trek wearing henchman, were enjoying the BMX performance until they were shamed by Bart Connors.
Now let me just point out. They're not literally wearing Star Trek uniforms. They're wearing these 80s style suits. that
These
you're saying
jumpsuits.
look like Star Trek uniforms. Yeah.
They look. I mean, they look like they were trying.
I mean,
they
just
were auditioning for Next Generation.
just they didn't think they were nerdy guys who were like Star
Oh
Trek.
no! They were just poorly dressed douchebags.
Now those guys were all rival BMX riders who were coming to check out crew to Anyway,
got it.
so you saw all that, and that is going to be linked in the description to help you, our dear listeners, understand where the root of my love for this song comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a real insight into Keith's psyche.
Yeah. And now, even if you don't see this clip and you just go based on the sound of the song, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you would agree it sounds really 80s, right?
Oh yeah, no, it is incredibly 80s. I mean, probably because of its roots in 1983.
Yeah. It's got a crazy amount of synth everywhere.
Tons.
I mean,
Yeah.
the beginning of it is so audacious. It's not screwing around. It comes in strong, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But one of the things I love about it most is I actually wrote rad non-ironically in my notes, the completely awesome, let's say, 80s drums that are throughout this thing. And one of the best examples of it is at 2:30-ish, so I'll give us a couple seconds to dive into this. I mean, come on.
That's real 80s, dude.
These guys are Australian, by the way, so they have that kind of accent going, but it's not British necessarily. It's Australian. Right. Yeah.
It's a little nasalier than your average Brit, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I sought out the video for this, and this is clearly a video from '83, I think.
There are two versions. There's two videos, believe it or not. Which version did you see? The one with someone on horseback or not on horseback?
I saw the one in a church. I don't recall anyone on horseback, but I also didn't finish it. So
okay. So what happened in the one you saw?
All right, so they're just it's them playing in a church. There's a pale, pensive woman with a cross,
wearing white,
and then
singing the high notes, probably.
Yeah, probably singing the but then so the band made an impression on me because they didn't, and I guess them being Australian kind of shed some light on this. They did not look like they were. So all right. So the lead singer, looks like Robert Smith light.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's where the vibe of the sound of the song comes from. And then on drums, it's like your cousin from New Jersey, right?
You saw, by the way, I'm going to let you know, you watched the 1989 video, believe it or not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the 83 one takes place outdoors in the woods, and the angel is on horseback. But go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So then on guitar in the 89 version, you have an understudy from Lost Boys.
Yes, you definitely do.
And then on bass, you've got Joe Rogan's uncle.
Oh, wow, that's great. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a note that the 89 version is one of the poorest pretend performances I've ever seen in a music video.
It was so bad.
They're out of sync. The lip sync is off. The drum sync is off.
Yeah. No, none of them look like they were playing anything.
And it's like, if you're going to re-release a song, why would you not go to some trouble to make it better than the original?
Because they knew that it was used to score this awesome scene in Rad.
It's so great, dude.
Okay.
Of course, I have more needle drops, as you can imagine.
Yeah, let's hear them.
I mean, I did rank this, 8th? So, I mean, obviously, I think it's very 80s. There's a cool, intense 80s guitar solo at 2:46, which you probably haven't heard because you probably turned it off before then. So, here we go.
I
have heard that. I did not turn the song off.
Oh, you didn't? You turned the video.
I didn't finish the video.
In the video,
But I've heard the song numerous times.
in the video, the lead singer goes over in the middle of the video and picks up the guitar just to play that solo.
Okay.
Which is hilarious because and then he doesn't do a good job of fake playing it either. So
Yeah.
and then
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I mean, yes, I think cocaine is definitely a possibility at some point in the production of Rad for sure. Mm-hmm. And then in the production of this song, it wouldn't surprise me. I'll say that much.
Okay.
Finally, needle drop wise, I have the very cool, very 80s, epic, definitive ending to the song. There's no fading out. These guys blow it up. Boom!
Oof.
Song over. Yeah. Very dramatic.
They knew how to end a song.
Would you agree that this is an extremely, there's a lot of, it's a very melodramatic type, there's a lot of drama in this song, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The urgency. Send me an angel right now.
Yeah. What the fuck is taking so long with the angel?
So I think for listeners that the 80s-ness of this song speaks for itself, but watch the BMX dance scene because it will change your life. And then you'll go on to watch the movie and you'll wonder, can Crew, our hero, beat Helltrack and the villain Bart Taylor? That's right, Bart Connor was such a bad actor that they had to change his character's name to Bart so that he would respond to lines. But hey, he was a gymnast, cut him some slack. Anyway, that's all I have to say about. I mean, I have tons more to say about Send Me an Angel.
Yeah, real quickly.
Yeah.
Why don't the gymnasts of today star in action movies?
It's a great question because,
why isn't Simone Biles out there playing a spy?
She absolutely should, dude. Because,
right?
Mitch Gaylord was in American Anthem. Now, granted, that was about gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I had a soundtrack song, Take It Easy by Andy Taylor, that was not going to make this because it's straight rock song, not very 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there were gymnasts all over the place in the 80s jumping into movies. Yeah. Why is that not a thing anymore? I would love that. Olympians in general being in movies would be great.
Absolutely.
So, it was apparently a pretty 80s thing to do, to jump into. But that's the movie, not the song.
Okay.
But there you go. So Send Me an Angel, I think, has a strong case for winning a matchup or two here.
All right.
But
well, then let's look at the other song.
Let's look at Iko Iko and the Bell Stars.
The Bell Stars, who had one other significant hit.
Yes.
Called Sign of the Times.
I'm going to jump to the chorus-ish. Now, did you know this song? I didn't know this song.
I absolutely did not know this song. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It hit number 75 in the Hot 100. Yeah. So, not a major hit, but it was there. It was
a big hit in the UK.
Yeah, was it? So it was there.
Yeah.
And they did, it's unlike Swayze, who has no other song. They had two songs that charted here. So
they had one in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the Bell Stars, an all-woman band.
Right.
Just like the band in Satisfaction.
Ha!
Was
actually the band in Satisfaction had one dude.
Oh, did it have a dude in it?
Yeah.
Oh, dang! Yeah. I take that back then.
and he was in love with, I believe it was with Trini Alvarado in the band.
This is a movie I saw probably once back in the early 90s, so I don't have a big recollection of it.
Okay, so
So
here's why this song is in the countdown, the bracket at all.
All right, let's get to it. Yes.
Okay, so 1989, I took my one and only spring break trip.
Okay. You were a senior in high school.
I was a senior in high school, and a bunch of friends of mine, Jason Knapp, Chad Moreski, Dan Ewing, and my exchange student brother, Alfredo Cremonti.
Awesome.
Loaded ourselves in Jason's shitty car.
The Knapps were notorious for having shitty cars.
Sorry,
It was not a bad car. He was the only one of us that had something that would drive us there.
Yeah.
the wheel fell off. One of the wheels fell off about 50 miles.
Not metaphorically.
No. Literally fell off and went bouncing down the road about 50 miles from Myrtle Beach, where we were headed.
Wow.
Yeah, which it took a lot of. We pulled our money and repaired it. The whole point is, we went to Myrtle Beach, and we hung out in our hotel room quite a bit. And the hotel had free HBO. Satisfaction was on HBO at the time.
Oh, nice.
And so in Myrtle Beach on spring break, I watched the movie Satisfaction with Justine Bateman a good 3 or 4 times.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Was anyone watching it with, like, were all the guys just kind of lounging around watching this?
There was a lot of lounging. We would go out and play Frisbee and come back in and have a beer and watch TV or whatever.
Okay.
And, some of us went forth and, partied and made out, and some of us did not.
I'm guessing which faction you were in, but...
Well,
yeah.
I mean, look, hey, I did kiss a girl there.
Oh,
I did.
okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it making out, and I didn't go to anywhere, but, anyway. Anyway, the point is...
Yes.
The point is, because of that trip, I have a fondness for the movie Satisfaction.
Yeah.
And the song Iko Iko.
Okay, but over the years, it got erased that it was the soundtrack, not the soundtrack version by the Bell Stars. You became aware of the Bell Stars version and then kind of welded it in there or something.
Right. That's right. I conflated it in my head with the version from Justine Bateman and the Mystery.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a scene that I've now rewatched where the band sings it. They're in their van, and I think Julia Roberts is blowing on a jug, like an empty jug, to make instead of the percussion, she's going, boop, boop, boop. Yeah. And so this was a cover of a 50s era song called Giacomo.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, the verses I understand, and then the chorus I have always wondered, is that in another language or is it just nonsense syllables? And I didn't get far enough into my research to find out the answer. I didn't know if you...
I didn't either. Yeah. I always assumed
it
was Jamaican in origin, and it was... because there's a huge Jamaican population in the UK, and I assumed it came in through that route.
Oh, okay, I don't.
And that some of the lyrics might have been, like a patois
type of a thing.
In Jamaica.
No idea. We'll have to. I wonder if Denny will know this one.
Denny will not know this one.
All right, someone will know. If not,
he might do some research, but I think this is one you would have to actually sit down. No one's going to just know this.
But I never know what, if you were going to try to sing along with it, I would never know what to say exactly. Except for the Iko Iko part.
Yeah, no. If you turn on, if you're listening on Amazon Music and you have the lyrics thing turned on, it's just a bunch of question marks.
Is it really?
No,
it should be. Or did they put little syllables in there and say Giacomo something?
I think that Giacomo Finane.
Huh. Okay. So it was re-recorded using 80s technology in the 80s. Mm-hmm. I like the way that I've listened to previous versions of this song, and in this song they really do put a hard percussion in there. It's a very if I jump ahead, that super deep bass that they put in there. And so, I kind of dig that. Looking for positive things. The Bell Stars' voices are, they're good. Like the singers got a good voice. The background singers sound good. It just doesn't strike me as very 80s, but that's because I didn't have an experience with it, I guess, in the 80s.
So if you recall, when we did the repilot, I said that I felt like there's going to be a lot of stuff in here that's going to be mostly experiential.
Yeah.
And this for me is that.
Okay.
It is definitely not a song with the most 80s production or sound.
Right.
I will point out the video for this, and there's the video that I found for this seems to be from it's from like '88 when RainMan was released.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
And in addition to some very good dancing. I liked the video. The outfits are very late '80s. It's very like '88, '89 kind of outfits that these people are wearing.
Okay.
There's also tons of clips of RainMan, but that's neither here nor there. But the outfits in the video, also a splash more 80s for you.
Okay, and I feel like experientially anyway, associating it with Satisfaction seems like a better way to get votes because there's a better chance of having like an emotional connection to Satisfaction, I feel like, than to necessarily RainMan. RainMan... At the time, we were teenagers, right? RainMan was not like, oh man, like RainMan is my next, Breakfast Club or something. You know what I mean? Like,
well, so I will say that in in the fall of '89, I was a freshman at Kent State studying theater.
Yeah,
and as a thing like theater students, we were we talked with our professors about performances they admired, and as problematic as it kind of is in hindsight, they pointed to Dustin Hoffman's performance in RainMan as like an example of, look, he is really committed to this character, and look at what he's doing in this movie.
Yeah.
Again,
fair enough.
Whether a neurotypical person should play a neurodivergent person like that, I will leave that to people more interested than myself.
Right. But okay. So, do you have other things that you want to say about this?
Dude, no, I don't. This one's a foregone conclusion. I have no defense of this. We all know what's going to happen. I say let's just jump to the verdict.
All right. Well, it's an even-numbered favorite, so that means that you get to go first. I don't think there's a ton of anticipation about what I'm going to vote for, but we'll go through the motions. Joe, which song are you going to choose here?
Of course, I'm voting for Send Me an Angel because it is clearly the 80s are of these two songs. Clearly.
Well, okay, fair enough. I'm going to vote for Send Me an Angel here. It's, it was very high up on my list of 80s est songs, and Iko Iko just it doesn't have any kind of anchor for me to pull me in, and so although I completely respect the experience you had and all that, I'm not going to trash your nomination of it at all, but it just didn't have it for me. So here I am voting.
And again, I will point out that it's only in there because the thing that was supposed to be in there fell out.
Right, fell through.
Reasons.
True. Yes. And so here we are with those. And let me ask you a question before we end the show, and that is, do you think Send Me an Angel is as annoying as Crush on You, or is this?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. All right. This
no, nowhere near. I mean, I don't
it's not
hate
gonna
the song.
Okay, it's not gonna send you into a berserker rage or anything.
I have listened to it without skipping it a number of times.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, it's 2-0, and I think we could be in Oingo Boingo territory here with this one. It's
entirely possible.
It's possible. But let's tell everyone how to get their votes in.
Here's what you do, folks. Go to the 80sist.substack.com. That's where we vote. That's where we chat about our votes. That's where we have good conversations. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for the 80sist podcast. That's us.
Awesome. We're on all the great major podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, and Google. And we can be found on all these different aggregators. You're listening to us now, so that's a good sign. But you can also share the publication with friends and get them to listen. And you can listen to our region playlists on Spotify. Again, for all of this goodness, just search for the 80s-est. And we would love for you to jump on board and subscribe. Well, if you're one of those shy listeners who just listens but never votes, maybe it's time to get involved.
That's right. Yeah. Take a stand, goddammit.
We would love
Grow
to.
a spine.
Like if you're that Iko Iko enthusiast out there.
That one.
The Bell Stars need you, man.
That's right.
Anyway.
We didn't include Sign of the Times, so take what you can get.
That's right. So, Joe, I guess that's going to be all for today's show.
Okay.
But I implore you, dear listeners, to join us next time on the 80sist, when we're going to match up an interesting matchup coming up. Number 6 seed, Who's Johnny, versus the 11 seed, When the Going Gets Tough. So, I don't...
El DeBarge versus Billy Ocean.
I don't know where I'm going on that one yet.
Ooh, it's a tough one.
We'll have that one for you to start off next week, I believe. So,
okay.
Until then, on behalf of Joe, let's see how this goes.
Oh, God.
On behalf of Joe,
I'm not looking forward to this one.
Let me start over. Until then, on behalf of Joe, this has been Keith saying, "Hey, Joe, remember we went crazy over that Nestle's white chocolate?" Yeah, well, really, in real life, my true passion is Three Musketeers bars.
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember that Nestle's bit, but, dude, Three Musketeers?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that candy, but isn't it just like nougat?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really my thing, man.
Lighten up, take a bite, so soft and creamy, it's so dreamy. Three Musketeers.
Please don't start this shit again. I mean, look, even the gift of your truly angelic voice is not going to get me to eat a candy bar.
Every bite fluffy and yummy, a chocolate cloud so smooth and light.
I'm embarrassed for you doing the same bit a second time. It's amateurish. And yet, this bar sounds pretty good.
All those chocolate biteful, delicious, delightful, fluffy.
What is it about your majestic falsetto that gives me such a sweet tooth? I'll be damned if I'm not grabbing my car keys and going out right now to get one.
Three Musketeers lighten up on a chocolate cloud.
Lighten up, take a bite, so soft and creamy, it's so dreamy. Three Musketeers, every bite fluffy and yummy, a chocolate cloud so smooth and light, almost chocolate biteful, delicious, delightful, fluffy. Three Musketeers, lighten up on a chocolate cloud.